Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a demonstration on how I do my eyebrows. So if you guys want to see that and you want to know all the products that I use, go ahead and check out the description bar, and there's also the winner of the giveaway is down there. I put all the names on little pieces of paper and put them in a hat and drew it that way, so everybody had a fair chance. I just want to say congratulations to the winner. I really hope that you enjoy your prizes. I will be contacting you within 24 hours to discuss shipping and all that jazz. So congratulations. And thank you again everybody for joining the giveaway. I will be doing another one at the 500 subscribers. So go ahead and tell your friends and bring them on over. If you guys want to see how I do my eyebrows, just keep watching this video. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you would, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you hit that little bell next to it, you will be informed every single time I upload a new video. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into this video. Don't mind these ratchets right now, but I do want to let you guys know we're going to get up close and extremely personal. So let's go ahead and jump right on into this little bad boy. So first off, what we're gonna do is go with this contraption right here called tweezers, because, well, you know, you pluck them, you shave them, you do whatever you please, just don't abuse them. Don't abuse your eyebrows. They didn't do nothing to you. Alright, so obviously what you need to do is just get you a little mirror and just squeeze the little strays. Take from the bottom, never the top. Ow, this hurts and it sucks. For this part, I like to use these little tools right here. This is a spoolie brush and this is just a eyebrow eyelash comb. So I usually take the comb and comb all my hairs upward. You don't need nothing fancy. This is just a little Maybelline guy. Just so you know which ones are strays and don't belong. You can see that mine are just a little sparse in some spots. I don't know why they grow in like that. I do not do that to my eyebrows. Why would I ever? And sometimes you can take from the front if you really don't like the way they lay, but I'm fine with mine. Fine with the little cray-crayness that goes on up there. Then what I like to do is brush all my hairs upward with my spoolie. And I recommend doing this first before any of your other makeup, just because it, especially like if you're trying to learn with your brows, I know that I usually tend to do my brows after foundation because, well, I just do. Okie dokie, artichoke. I can't believe I just said that. Next stepo. But this is just personally how I do my eyebrows. You do not have to do this, okay? Like, you don't have to be this bougie. You don't have to do the extreme like I do. This is just preference, okay? Preference. So I like my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, and this is in chocolate. Another good brow pencil is the Precisely My Brow. And I also like the Revlon Color Stay eyebrow pencil. The only thing about this is it is extremely pigmented and extremely opaque. I mean, you wouldn't really need to do all the other steps with this. I like to use this on days where I don't like to use brow gel because it's not needed with that. This is what it looks like when it's open. It has a spoolie on one end and it has the pencil on the other. So this is how you map out your eyebrows. I just want to touch on this real fast. You take your pencil right here to the side of your nose, which mine grow, and it already left a line. But this is where mine grow. So you just want to like make a little line. As you can see, that already made a line for me. And then once you're looking straight forward, you want to take it to about where your pupil is on the side of your nose. Straight forward, okay? And that is where your arch should be. Just make a little line, dot, whatever. And then take it to the outer corner of your eye for the tail. So mine is right about where it should be. I like my tail to be just a hair bit longer, personally. That's just what I like. So arch here, tail here, beginning. Okay, those are the 3 points. So then what I like to do is I don't do the point system. That is just like for reference, but I just am showing you guys. But I just kind of put mine where I like it. And I like my brows to be really bougie. And as you see, I'm not wiping that off. I'm just taking my spoolie and wiping, or like just brushing it off. And what I do is I start right here on the bottom and do like strokes. Okay, just like a straight line, following the bottom of the natural hairs in my brow. And if you mess up, you can just take your spoolie and run it over the spot where you messed up. So just following it all the way to where I want my brow to end. I darken that up, darken it up. And then I like to do this part, this step, but you don't have to do this in any specific order. Like I said, this is just how I do it. And then I take my pencil and I start at the very tip of that and just do light strokes to the top of my eyebrow. Not like a whole lot, just kind of making them like hair-like strokes. That'll make it look more realistic and not so fake. But by the end of this, mine will look fake because that's how I like them. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to start about here. I'm not going to start clear up here at the beginning. You can't do that if you like boxy looking brows and want all your brows to be like one solid line color, whatever. But I don't. So I take it and I start right here, just like right here where the top of my brow is. And I start to arch it down right about the farthest part of my brow ends. If that makes sense. So I just pretty much follow the natural line of my brow, bring it down. And I know this looks a little crazy right now, but I promise it'll come together. And then I just lightly fill this in, the part that I missed, like very lightly. I'm taking such a soft hand. And just fill it in to my liking down here. And that's that for the front, or for the pencil. That's all I do for the pencil. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my other brow real fast and I will move on. Alright, and then I take my spoolie brush. You can just use the one on the end of the brow pencil if your brow pencil has it. If not, a lot of brush sets come with this, or a brow thing. If not, you can pick one up at the store for like $1 at any drugstore in the makeup aisle. They're everywhere. Anyone will do. And then what I do is I take my brush and I just run it through the top, or the front of my brow. And so I get it to the color, the faintness, should I say, that I like it. So that way the front of the brow is the lightest part. So now I have two options for brow gel. I tend to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the color Chocolate. Or there is the Eyebrow by Benefit. And I like this especially because it comes with a perfect little brow brush. I couldn't think of what it was called. And I haven't used this in a while because this is a little too dark for me. This is number 5. I should have number 4, but I don't. But I think I might use this because the Anastasia is drying out a little bit and I don't want to add too much oil to it. But what I do is I'll usually take any kind of like serum or oil or some kind of dropper, which like this Farsali dropper is, you guys I'm sure have seen this a million times. I usually take a little just drop or two of this and put it in there and mix it up in there just to give it some life back to it and give it that little bit more of a wet texture. So I'm just going to use my brow gel, and mind you, this is a little dark for me, but hey, it works. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to very lightly just dip it around in there. It doesn't look like there's much on there, but that's because this brush is dark. The bristles are very dark on it. But I promise you there is product on here, and there's quite a bit. Start right here, and I start filling in the tail first because I want that to be the deepest part. And I just follow that same line I made before with the pencil and bringing it to a point. I personally like my eyebrows at a point. You won't know how you like your eyebrows until you play around and get the feel of them. Some people would just use a pencil, some people just use gel, some people just use a cream, like a pomade dip brow. I use all because I'm bougie. So just get the feel and figure out what you like. Makeup is a trial and error process. Anyway, I'm gonna just keep filling this in. Usually you don't have to dip back in, but if you do, I really suggest taking very little bit at a time. And I keep moving this, following that line until I get about to where I made that line before, until I get about there. And that's what it looks like when I'm done. And then what I usually do is take whatever's left on here, which you can see is not very much at all, and I'll just take a light hand and run that back through the top of it and connect these two spots and these two spots. And then you should have something like that. And then I just take my spoolie one more time and run back through, and then I lightly just pull these up. I have very long hair in my eyebrows, so you will get a different outcome depending on what your eyebrow shape is, what it looks like. And that's another thing, is I also suggest finding the best shape for your face and what you like. And I just fill it in until I'm happy with the way it turns out. My brows naturally have just that high arch, so that's how I do my eyebrows. But when I relax my face, it just has that pretty natural looking arch. I'm gonna go ahead and do my other eyebrow. This is what you don't want it to look like, but you can fix this very easily after you have filled it in, because you can see that this just looks more natural and pretty. You can just take your spoolie. I really like the spoolie on the e.l.f. brush because it is smaller. Alright, so once you get them to where you like them, we're gonna move on. And make sure you always close your pomade as soon as you're done, because it can dry out, and these do dry out very fast. So then the last step for the actual brows itself, I like to take a brow gel. You can use clear, you can use whatever color you like. Personally, I just like to get the color that's close. Well, anyway, personally, I like to get the color that's closest to my eyebrows, and this is Essence Make Me Brow Mascara, and this is O2 Brownie Brows. And this is more so just to kind of keep them in place. It comes with this little baby wand. And what I do is I start down here where to focus more of the product and kind of just shape them how I like them to stay. And I'm just taking a very light hand and doing this. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and do the other eye real fast. And that's it for that. It's really just a simple step. Days where I'm like in a hurry on a go, I'll just fill them in a little bit with a pencil, and then I will take that and just run it through it. That's why I like a colored gel. Alright, and for the last step, this is a step that I used to never do, but I notice it does make a difference, because I was always like, that's just too much, that's just bougie. And they make products for this. Most of the time I just take a concealer, but I actually picked up the Browprecise by Maybelline. It's a perfecting highlighter for your brows, and it has a square shape to it, so you can really kind of get in there. And like I said, this is a step for people that do the Instagram brows like I do, or if you do make quite a bit of mistakes and have like smudges of that you don't want to be seen. This is why I suggest you do it before you do the rest of your makeup. So I'm going to show you what I would do, and I need a closer mirror. Just take it as close as to my brow as possible without touching my actual brow. Go like kind of all the way around it. A lot of times I just take my foundation and go around the top. But this one's for demonstration purposes. So as you can see, I did not get super close to this part because I don't really know exactly where it ends. And a lot of times if I don't trust myself, you could take this flat edge. I don't trust myself to not get super close and actually touch my eyebrow. I will kind of stay a little bit away and then just blend it in. And that's why I recommend a small beauty blender or something like this with a very flat edge on it, because then you can just take it and follow that line, so that way you don't have no like crazy white opaque line around your eyebrows. This is something you really want to have a steady hand for. And now you can see that you have very pristine lines. You don't have to worry about your eyebrows being a little crazy. You don't have to do this step because most of the time you will put foundation on and try to get it as close to your brows as possible. And if you are gonna do eyeshadow, you could just take your concealer and put it on your eyes to prime your eyes before you put eyeshadow on. So like I said, this step is not super necessary, but it's just what I do. And a lot of times I don't even go over the top of my brow. I'll just do the bottom, which I will do with this eye just real fast. So now that your eyebrows are on and finished, you would obviously go ahead and do the rest of your face, which for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to do. I'm just going to end that here. So if this video was helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!